Hi guys, Colin from Battle Systems here, and this is
Stuart.
Okay, hey. So it's unboxing time, and but before we do that, I just wanted to introduce you to Stuart. Most of you guys won't actually know Stuart. He's the newest member of Battle Systems. Say hello again.
Hello again.
There you go. Stuart's been quite heavily involved in helping with the production of this game, which is really cool. And one of the reasons it's so incredibly, what we're about to show you is so incredibly good. Okay, so it is unboxing time. So and it's the video that everybody is always waiting for. And we have it here. This is it. This is the Core Space goodness. It's a big, heavy box. I can't remember what. Do you remember the weight of this? I can't remember the weight.
I don't know. I wish we could show you through the camera how heavy it is.
Yeah, it is heavy, but it's a really, really, really nice box. We've got this beautiful linen finish and a spot UV, which I didn't even know existed until Stuart told me and put it in the box. So yeah, we've got all this loveliness that makes this a board game as opposed to the terrain that you're used to seeing. So here we go, this is it. Stuart, if you'd like to open this up and just talk people through what's in the box. Oh, so excited.
Okay, so those of you familiar with Battle Systems will know what this is. On top you will find the map. This is similar to the maps that come in sets like the Frontier, but one of the main differences is you'll see it's got a grid added. It's very faint, so it doesn't disturb the design, but it does allow you to play the game without a ruler, which is really convenient.
And the mat is beautiful. The quality of this mat is brilliant. It's one of the best. Yeah. It's the most colour accurate to the artwork that I've ever had.
Yeah, it's really finely detailed. Yeah, very impressed with that. Right, so next you'll see some pieces of cardboard. All will become clear with those a bit later. They will fold up into the bottom so you can use them for storing your terrain. I'll show you that in a bit.
That is clever actually.
So I'll start with this side. So in this tray here, you have all of the sort of peripheral components for playing the game. First one here is the hostility tracker. Looks blank at the moment because there will be a card piece that goes in here, and then your pegs go up the side. Here we have the event cards. You get, I think it's 45, 46?
47, I can't
something
remember.
like that.
Yeah, I got it wrong. You corrected me.
Yeah, so essentially what you're getting here is all of the ones that come in the retail game, plus all of the ones that come in the expansions, plus all the extra ones for the crews, all in one deck.
Yeah, that's a really nice deck as well. Linen finish, blah blah blah, blue core, all the latest in card technology.
Got some more solid plastic here. These are the character dashboards. So you've got spaces here for your character, your class, their equipment, and again there's 3 rows of pegs at the bottom, which you can use to track your health and your ammo during the game. Underneath those you will find pegs, ammo, skills, health, and the black ones are for the hostility tracker up here.
And extra baggies.
Always useful.
Yeah, good, you're going to need for all the little bits and pieces.
Yeah, so these just go in there, hold pretty tightly.
Good job, that worked.
I was worried for a second.
Okay.
When we've designed these trays, we've made sure to design them that once you take everything out of the box, it will all go back in, even when it's not in the same configuration, which we'll show you more of in a minute.
Yeah. And also, don't put your finger all the way in to take these out in one go, because Stuart got his, did that, and one of these got stuck on his finger for about 5 minutes this morning. So yeah, just take out 4 at a time.
Yeah. So in here you find your dice. You've got your red and blue ones that you use for combat. All of these dice are engraved, so the icons are not going to rub off during play. You've got your chance dice that you use for randomising things and controlling your civilians, and you've also got your purge dice. This one here is the security dice. That doesn't come in the retail game, but we've thrown it in free with the Kickstarter version. That will allow you to activate the security guards that were available with the various add-ons.
Which is totally cool.
Underneath the dice, you find a little Core Space bag. You might think it's a dice bag, but actually this is for using all of the equipment tokens. So when you go and search a crate during the game, you reach in here, see what you can find, and that's what you get inside the crate.
Cool.
Under the cards, we have 2 sets of clip bases. That's just to, if you're not going to paint your miniatures, you can use these to differentiate who's a who's in the game. Just a quick reference. And then finally in this tray, we've got some plastic clips. If you're familiar with the existing Battle Systems terrain, these will be slightly new to you. They're no longer on a big sheet that you have to punch out. They are all individual. They're 3D moulded clips, so they're much more sturdy, much more durable than they used to be.
They are really good.
And they are fully compatible with the old ones, so you don't need to replace anything. You can mix and match them.
You can indeed, yeah. Totally cool.
Right. Next, we have a box in the box. This is where you'll find all your miniatures.
This is my favourite part.
I think this is everyone's favourite part. Oh, you're going to have to light that up. So, 2 halves to this tray. This is what you get in the retail game. So, a retail game, when you get it, will look like that. For the Kickstarter backer, you're getting all of this stuff as well, that I'm now going to put back in the wrong places.
They're never getting.
So, I don't know how much you can see the detail on the camera here, but these are exquisitely detailed miniatures.
Yeah.
And the blue ones have come out especially nicely. But you've got 2 complete crews. So you've got the crew of the Iron Hope and the crew of the Black Maria. You've got 3 civilians, and you've got the Purge. So you've got your Harvesters and the Assassin, Devastators and the live one. We've colour coded those, so even if you don't paint them, you can clearly see on the board what's what.
Totally, and that was a big thing for us because we didn't. It wasn't part of the plan. We didn't say we were going to do it on the Kickstarter, and we was getting right near the end of production, and we was having a conversation. I was just like, we've got to get. There's just one thing about this game that I just regret, and it's just getting the colours just how we're going to do. And Stuart's like, well, it's not too late. And then we had a conversation, and you know, obviously there's costs involved and stuff, but we just said, you know what, it's the cherry on the cake. It's the last thing for me that was so important, and I'm just absolutely stunned. I mean, the quality of these is I'm just, you know, production plastic. It's just, it's really amazing.
Yeah, but it's a high grade of PVC, so there's very little bend at all to these. They come out looking excellent. That's one of the final stretch goals on the Kickstarter, so you'll all be getting the Annihilator in there.
Yeah.
You get that big Purge beastie in there.
Nasty piece of work.
You've got an extra set of Purge in here. Got the Zed's gang.
Yeah.
So you've got Zed, Angeline, Chunk and Hob.
Yeah. Totally cool. These are really nice.
This bag, you are getting the Galactic Core, so you've got the Director, Juggernaut and 2 guards. And then here I've got 3 extra crews.
Yeah.
So you've got the, remind me what that was.
Right, okay, so I think we've got Poseidon and we've got Skylark
Skylark
and Cygnus.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally cool.
Yeah, so that's the
Brilliant.
miniatures. Okay, next, now this is not in the retail game, and this is heavy. This is the deluxe rulebook. This is hardback, really good quality, decent thick pages. This is what you'll be getting as standard in your Kickstarter games. This comes with everything that you get in the retail game and more. So I'll just have a quick flick through so you can see what's in here. Introduction to the game, explaining what all the components are. I've got a glossary just of all the key terms, information about terrain, just going through every component piece by piece, so it's all really clear. Some diagrams for line of sight.
Full colour diagrams. God, it took ages to do those, but it's so good to actually get the diagrams with rather than just like, you know, quickly rendered, you know, outlines. All the examples are taken from actual gameplay. Yeah. So it really does make a big difference when you're playing the game and you can just see the example with the miniatures on the terrain, which is really cool.
Great setup from top down and from the character's eye view.
Yeah, definitely one of the upgrades that we did throughout the Kickstarter to say, well, it takes a little bit more time, but it makes this much more of a deluxe book, in my opinion. Yeah. Brilliant.
Got set up then all of the actions you can take as a trader. And we've got the Purge and how they work. little flowchart show how your NPCs act. This page is not in the standard rulebook. This is something that's been added in for the deluxe one. Because you'll be getting your Annihilator, and we also have the add-on for the Gatherers. This is just in the rulebook, so you don't need to look somewhere separate to get their rules.
Yeah.
The NPCs, again, in the core rulebook you will get the rules for them and you'll get the civilians. You won't be getting the rules for the Galactic Corps, the security and the criminal gangs. All of that's just in this book, so everything's in one place.
How many pages is this?
176.
Yeah. Look at that, man. That is a crack. And if you look at this, look. This is still a really nice book. This is the retail book, and the difference is staggering. I mean, but even this is 105 pages,
yeah,
which is whopping, and it's got all the same stuff, all the same quality and everything else. It's a cracking book, but compare that to a 176 page hardback book.
Yeah, so for those of you wondering how complicated the game is, that's the core rules of the game. Once you've read that far, you will know how to play a complete game and more. Everything else is just about the whole experience of Crawl Space. So what comes next is missions. Tell you how to set up new missions. There's some example ones that you can play through, and then there's a section on designing your own. All the kind of guidelines you need to follow, how many crates you should put in, that kind of thing. And if you don't want to design your own maps, we've put some sample ones in here. So you can just build these and then set up your characters into these scenarios.
I'm really impressed with the book. It's just such a nice. It's just such a nice book. It's brilliant. When we first got it back, I mean, I've done a lot of playtesting. We've done a lot of playtesting of Core Space, and you know, getting the book like that, I sat there, you read it through, and you're just like, that's it, I want to play Core Space. You know, it's like never enough Core Space. So yeah, and I'm still playing regular, still having Core Space week. You know, we don't even need to do the game test now. We're still having regular Core Space playtesting. But it's not even playtesting anymore. No. Just because it's like, right, I want this crew, I want to do that, I want to go on this mission, I want to do that, I want to try these new skills, and you know, it's yeah. And a big part of that is the book.
Yeah. So a lot of people will be really interested in this section. This is campaigns. So once you've played your game, you can go into this section. It will tell you how your crew advance after the game, or if they got left behind, you can go in and rescue them. You've got to maintain your ship. All of that is in this section here. Page about how the ships work. That's the advancement phase, trading. And then this is a complete campaign. So if you don't want to design your own missions, there's more than enough you can play through in here. You take your starting crews, which are the two that come in the core box, and then there's 10 missions to play through with a continuous storyline throughout. I'll get progressively harder and go through all of the rules. From here onwards, this is stuff that's not in the retail game at all. So this advanced rules section is, say you've got one of our Galactic sets and you want to play Core Space on that, there's all the rules you need for having multi-level terrain, so climbing, jumping, that kind of thing, opening doors and windows, destroying things. Everything you could want out of a skirmish game is in this section. There's a few other little things you can do, some tweaks you can make to the game to raise the difficulty, changing the event cards up, that kind of thing. Then we've got generating characters. So you may have a favourite character that you want to port straight into Core Space. Well, this is how you do it. So you just fill out one of these blank boards, which were available on the Kickstarter, but you can also get online. And it's got all the ways to assign points to your character to build them. You can also do the same with civilians, equipment, enemies. Essentially, you can customise the entire game. Then we've got the Core Space universe. This is the background of the universe. So it started out now, and this is far in the future, and it's what happened to the universe, the galaxy.
When we had our Core Space Day, that was a really, we printed off just this particular section to let everybody kind of like have a look through. And yeah, everyone was dead chuffed with that. And, you know, we went extra. We spent extra money designing the spaceships and stuff, you know, way out. Just like we need to show what their spaceships look like and stuff. So we've really gone to town on just like making sure that we filled up every gap that we can with Core Space. I'm really happy with that.
I'll have to see if we can find another way to use these spaceships.
Yeah, we'll have to think of that one.
And then this is a bit about us, really. This is the making of Core Space. So this goes all the way back to Colin's initial sketches for all the characters, things that did and didn't make it into the game, how he designed the walls, just kind of a bit behind the scenes stuff. I did the sculpting, I wrote the background, designed the cover art, the rules, all of that's in here, so you can see how the game was designed. And then finally at the back was a reference section. So those of you familiar with the rules will know that characters have skills, and they've got an icon that refers to this. There's also a few notes about the various icons you'll see on the equipment tokens in the back here. And then finally, a quick reference sheet. So during the game, just keep your book open on this page. Everything you need to know is on here.
The book that is amazing. Do it that way, that's where it was.
Yep. Right, the last thing in this box is a big chunk of cardboard. This pack here is what you get in the retail game. That's got a full Cyberpunk scenery set, and then all of the tokens, ship boards, the purge board, character boards, everything you need for the 2 starter crews. We'll show you that opened out shortly. The Kickstarter backers will also be getting this, so you've got boards for your Annihilator.
Totally cool that. We upgraded these at the last minute as well. It's just like, well, we can just give them a purge board like, you know, everyone else. We're like, no, let's give them wounds and let's make them upgradable and let's make it so that when they die, you can get to take stuff and take it with you and maybe it'll explode while you're carrying it. So we've got some, that was a real cool little update.
You also get extra shipboards because you get extra crews. And then here are the extra crews. There's Zed's gang, which can be used as gangers, but you can actually use them as traders as well. Double-sided boards. The same with the other crews. We've got the Galactic Core. Then there's another set of equipment tokens and ruler.
Yeah.
Extra crews.
Got to have 2 rulers.
And of course, as it's battle systems, some extra scenery.
Yeah.
So you can build even bigger setups.
Yeah.
All of that.
Totally, yeah. On the stretch goals, I think we kind of did a mix of we did a mix of miniatures and terrain, because you know you've got more crews. You're going to want a bit of extra scenery, as it were. So, which is all pretty cool. But
right, mate. You may be thinking that this doesn't all fit back into the box in the way you'd want it to, because all of that's going to be punched out. Well, we did think of that.
We did indeed, totally. Let me grab one of those. Okay, so what we've got here is classic Blue Peter style. One we did earlier is we've basically taken all the components. We played a lovely game, a couple of 3 games, in the last 10 minutes, and but we ran out of time, so put Core Space back in the box. But I want to show you how it goes back in the box very quickly. So basically, we've got the box up is pretty much the same. We folded the mat on the top just like it came. And then what we've got in here is miniatures are back on the box. Everything on this side has gone back in. I've removed some of the baggies for the dice, the event cards are all in there, and at the bottom,
we've got tokens.
Yeah, and that's all of the equipment tokens from the entire, not that, and a big load in there.
There's loads more in here.
There's loads in there. I'm now going to watch Stuart take his time.
I've made a mess now, haven't I?
You've made a total mess. So, so
just chuck them all in there.
No, don't do that. Oh no.
I'll leave it to sort out later.
My OCD is going to go nuts. So on this side of the tray, you've got that under there. Dashboards, the pegs are back in their little baggies and everything. I've just left the hostility board basically in there as well. That's all good. Okay, so there's not much happening on this side. The miniatures are all the same. Okay, the difference is I've taken them out of their little baggies, and you'll notice that these guys all go back in here perfectly fine. These guys are all out of their baggies, and you'll notice there's still a bit of space on this side here, which is really cool because if there's anything that you just like, any extras and bits and pieces that you want to put in there, that's
some of the
fine.
Kickstarter add-ons like the Gatherers and there's some extra gangers and things, they'll all fit in.
A couple of crew, you've probably got the miniatures mega deal, so you have the Yamato crew in there, and like you say, the Mother and the Spies.
Yes, everything will fit in there from the Kickstarter.
Yeah, so you've got that, and obviously while playing the game, this is the great place to keep all your pegs. So you're always like, pegs are going in, you're loading your gun, they're coming out, and you're shooting, and your health's going down, and it's going up, and all the rest of it if you're playing the game right. And this is a great little place to store those, so you're not fiddling about with little baggies while you're playing the game. So yeah, so we just do that, and then book's still in there. Did we tell you about the book? I think we did. So underneath, what you've got is you've got this area here, basically, which is really nice. The lattice has been assembled, okay, and you'll notice when you put the lattice together, there's little grooves in here, and that allows you to put the ruler in, because the ruler doesn't fit the box like that, and we don't want it to get bent on top of the mat or anything. So this little lattice here enables this to drop down. It means you can put heavy things like the books and the miniatures and stuff on it without destroying your ruler. And underneath that, you can see that really I've taken all the little bits and pieces, all the furniture has been assembled and everything, all the little cargo crates, everything furniture wise is actually just packed into this side here, a little bit there, a little bit there, and a little bit there. I've got a purge board on top. These are they're like the girders that go across the top, and here you'll see we've got our block of all of our walls and everything, and I've just put some elastic bands around some of this stuff to stop it from rattling about, but it does all fit in there really, really nicely. Here we've got you'll see there's loads of crew cards and things here, because obviously we've crammed all the Kickstarter stuff in here, so there's lots of extra stuff, and it all fits really nicely. We've got some tokens over here.
Yeah, so you can use the extra baggage you got to put your signs and your tokens
exactly
in here.
Yeah, so a little bases around here and stuff, and if you're not using your bases, you can generate an extra baggie there as well. So yeah, that's all your bits and pieces, and it all fits in really, really nicely. Put that back on top of there. So when you are playing Core Space and you pack it away, you get to put everything back into the box, and it goes onto your shelf. And remember, you've still got some extra space in that miniatures tray there as well. If you haven't got some of those extra crews and things, you might say, well, actually, I want to keep my tokens in there, or my plastic clips want to go in there, or whatever it's going to be. So yeah, that's really cool. So we managed to fit everything into the box, all nicely stored. You can stick that on your shelf now, and you can be like, right, get it out, and it's all ready to go. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah,
well, it's a good achievement for Battle Systems anyway, because we're notorious for terrain doesn't need to go necessarily back in the box. However, a board game needs to be back in its box.
It does, absolutely.
And that's exactly what this achieves incredibly well. So, so yeah, look at that. Very impressed with that. Core Space is here. Happy with that? Mm-hmm. Okay, well there you go. That's your unboxing video. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're impressed with everything that we've done, the quality of the miniatures, the box, the design, the rule book, everything, all the components, how it goes together. And when you get to play the game, you'll appreciate also what we've gone through with the rules as well, to make it like really future proof. We're going to be supporting Core Space for a long time to come, and we're already talking to shops and all sorts of stuff about supported play and everything else that goes along with it, online support, downloads, blah 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 blah, and everything else. So there you go, that's it.
Yeah,
say goodbye, Stuart. See you later. Happy gaming.